Hi, I'm Kevin, and welcome back to Tractors in Life. So admittedly, this is going to be a very, very different type of video. The thumbnail was not clickbait. My quitting YouTube is something that has been on my mind, and I want to explain why that is. I'll tell you right now up front, I've decided I'm not going to quit, and I want to tell you why, and the reason might surprise you. We get a lot of questions from people about, geez, what type of cameras do you use? How do you edit your videos, and so on and so forth. I want to give you a peek behind the scenes in this video as well. But I also want to offer assistance. Now, if you watch YouTube, and you just search, being a YouTube creator, there's a lot of people out there offering different courses and plans that you can purchase, and they'll take you through the process of being a YouTube creator. I find it, kind of interesting when I look at some of those and I see how many subscribers this so-called expert has, and it's not a lot. So that kind of question has me questioning it right from the outset. What I want to do is, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you maybe feel that you have something to offer, I want to help. I'm going to give you my email address right here. Any questions that you have that I've not answered in this video, shoot me an email. I'd love to. Matter of fact, we feature a lot of young creators on the channel, trying to give them a little push as well. I want everybody to succeed. I really do. So first of all, let me tell you what, in my opinion, does not work. The older YouTube how-to channels. Now, there are some out there that are successful, but for the most part, that's kind of passé. What people are looking for now is more of a day in the life of maybe a homesteader, or someone that works on tractors or equipment or what have you. Yeah, they want to learn something. There's got to be some value added features in it as well. But what they really want to do is they want to get to know you. So my number one advice is express your personality. Let them know you and your family. You've seen my wife Tess on a number of videos. Kind of funny that every time I feature Tess in a video, it does really well. Because I think people want to get to know you. Let me give you a great example. A channel that both Tess and I really love is Outdoors with the Morgans, and the whole Morgan family. Almost feel like they're neighbors. Really got to know them. And Mike, he does an awful lot on his property, but often there's not a lot of doing in some of his videos, yet we still watch because we love Mike, we love the family. So most people, myself included, the reason we become YouTube creators is we feel we have something to offer, but it sure would be nice to have some income from it as well. So there's a couple benchmarks that YouTube uses, who's owned by Google, by the way, as to how and when you get paid. You've got to meet the benchmark when you first start of 1,000 subscribers. You can't be monetized until you get that 1,000 subscribers. Now, most people, myself included, thought, geez, that was the challenge. I got to get those 1,000 subscribers. But what you also have to do is you have to get 4,000 watch hours. That's 4,000 hours where people are watching your video. We achieved 1,000 subscribers rather quickly. The 4,000 hours took a little longer to achieve. But until you reach those benchmarks, you're not monetized. You're not going to make any money off YouTube. Now, one of the so-called rules with big YouTube creators, they tell you stay in your lane. So our channel is called Tractors and Life. I added the suffix of and life when we named the channel simply because I wanted to do other things. And we've done stuff like gardening and cooking, smoking ribs and different things. Now they tell you to stay in your lane because of the YouTube analytics, is that when YouTube determines if they're going to show a video or not, they want to identify your thumbnail, your channel title, the subject matter, with what you've done in the past, what audience you've had. So if you do something that steps outside that, it confuses the analytics. Yeah, I understand the logic in that. I don't follow it. I make videos on subject matter that interests me. Let me give you a great example. A few weeks ago, we did a video on a family band out of the Philippines. Tess, my wife, comes from the Philippines, called Mission Souls. It was a great hit for us. It started slow, because the YouTube analytics were trying to identify, well, why is this tractor channel showing something about a rock and roll band? But you guys overcame the analytics, and finally the analytics realized, hey, people are watching this. Let's start to show it. Let's put it in people's feed. And as I film this right now, I think we're close to 60,000 views on it, which is good for our little channel. And it's still going strong. And we picked up over 1,000 subscribers from it. The impetus, the reason we did it, yeah, we like great videos, but I'm gonna put, matter of fact, I'm gonna put the Mission Souls video at the end of this video in case you wanna watch it. We did it because we fell in love with the family, and they're exploding. They're actually coming to the US on a tour. In addition to being great musicians, you've got a 16-year-old lead guitarist that will just blow you away. So we fell in love with the family, decided to do a video on it. I've done that a number of times. It's what I want to do. I did a video a while back on my smoker. That's what I was doing that day. And that's the key for me. You know, I don't invent things to do videos. What you see in the videos is what I'm doing on a daily basis. Which brings me to another subject, which is a huge one, which is content. I don't live on 100 acres. I mentioned Mike Morgan before, Outdoors with the Morgan. They live on 100 acres. He's got a sawmill. He's got a bunch of gorgeous equipment. He's putting roads. He's doing all kinds of things. Just built a big barn. He just walks out the door and he's got content. Now, that doesn't mean that in and of itself is going to make you successful. Mike is successful because of Mike, because of how he's put his channel together. But my point being, you know, we're less than a couple acres here. I don't have trails and woods and what have you. So coming up with content is a little bit more challenging for me. It really is. So how do I handle that? Well, for me, it's simple. What am I doing that day? Am I cutting the grass? Am I snow plowing? Am I tilling the garden? Just moved about 15 yards of soil the other day and had that in there. It's what I'm doing. What that enables me to do is to enjoy making videos rather than have it be a chore. I've done a lot of maintenance on the tractor. I guess that's supposedly, that's a how-to. But I think what we've tried to do is to bring other things to the table. So it's not just a channel where you learn how to change the oil on a tractor. I'm the type of guy, I commit to things. I'm going all in. And that's what I've done on this channel. And going all in means I've bought a lot of, at least to me, expensive equipment. One thing that will kill a video is audio. We have tried a number of different systems. Audio as a plane goes over the barn. We've tried a number of different systems and settled on this DJI system. A couple different reasons for that. Number one was the quality that we got. And just to demonstrate, you can see as I walk outside here, the audio is still good. And it has this little windscreen on here. That's another thing that I've noticed is with a lot of YouTubers is the audio is not good because of wind noise. Now, I've filmed in blizzards before, and even with the little microphone screen on it, it's still tough to not have the wind be an intrusion. But 99% of the time, this thing works great and gives you solid audio. The second is our cameras. You're watching me on a DJI camera. We've had GoPros too. I've got two DJIs and 2 GoPros. GoPro's fine, but after having them for a few years, we have issues with them. They overheat, and their battery life is not as lengthy as the DJI Action 5s. So we still use them, but our primary camera is always going to be the DJI Action 5. In addition to that, this camera is sitting on a tripod. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and including the one I'm holding, 5 tripods. So this is a combination kind of selfie stick plus tripod. And I use it all the time, I really do. Here's a bit of a warning for you. Were you to go out and buy a GoPro, an Action 5, whatever camera you're buying, they're gonna offer it to you in a kit. A little suitcase and a bunch of different accessories, and you're gonna say, I don't know, I guess I need this stuff. You don't. Okay, let me show you this. Look at all these accessories that I've got. You know what that is? Money. And in most cases, wasted money. What you do need are the tripods, and what I love are these magnetic mounts. So they go right on top of a tripod. Or I can stick it on the tractor or anything metal if I'm plowing or moving dirt. I've also got another one here that's mounted to the glass of the tractor, because what you want to do is to keep it interesting for the video. And one way that you keep it interesting is by having various camera views shot at different angles. Because to me, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is have your viewer go through boredom. You know, I think the attention span, they tell us, is like 3 minutes or something like that. And you might still have a lot to say, and maybe what you're doing is really good content. But just an example, what I've seen, let's take snow plowing as an example. When I shoot a snow plowing video, I've got a camera on top of the cab. I've got a camera somewhere near the bucket, sometimes in the rear of the tractor too, because I'm using a box blade to plow. And then I've got a tripod which is showing the whole scene. And depending on what I'm doing, we'll kind of go back and forth between the three views. Now what I've seen is some guys plowing, and it's really good content. A lot of snow, and they're using a cool piece of equipment, a snow pusher, snow blower. But all they've got is one tripod shooting everything, so the tractor is way off in the distance. I just find that boring, and I think most people probably do. And in keeping with keeping it interesting for your viewers, a drone. A drone is a really great tool to have for a YouTuber, especially doing a lot of what I do, which is outside plowing, moving dirt, or if I'm working at a customer's house. Giving that overview. I will tell you, the drone that we have is also a DJI. It is the Mini 3, I think it is. We've had cheap ones, and they're a real hassle. I mean, they really are. This thing, and also, if I may say this, a lot of them will have the drone, and then they'll have a separate controller, and the controller is your cell phone. It'll have a holder to put your cell phone in, you download their app, and you control it that way. I just found that a lot of moving parts. The one that we have has a separate controller, independent of your cell phone, and it's much, much easier to use. And again, it keeps things interesting for your viewer and keeps them watching your channel. Our garden this year is the worst we've ever had, and we don't really know why. You could see, look at that tomato plant, ridiculous. I think we've got 2 good tomato plants, this one and this one, and even those don't look great. Last year I tested the soil, and I had a pH issue, which I corrected. I brought in some good garden loam this year. Here's a question for you guys. Tess, in reading up, found a lot of sites that recommended cedar mulch. And she put that down because she thought, or she read, that it would help with weed control. I'm wondering what your thoughts are. Okay, now you see what I just did there? That's the key right there to success for your YouTube channel. I was soliciting comments from you guys, which, by the way, I really wanted. I didn't make that up. But this is how the YouTube algorithm also identifies a successful versus an unsuccessful video, is audience reaction. So that's kind of important. And plus the fact is, I gotta tell you, we've got some really smart viewers. And I've put that question out there a number of times, not that question, but different questions. And I've gotten some really solid advice. So that's kind of a benefit of having a YouTube channel, is having a really smart audience. All right, so let's say you've got your equipment and you shot some video and you've got some good content. What do you do now? Well, one of the toughest things is editing. Now, I've seen where creators sometimes, again, they'll put that cell phone out there, they don't do any editing at all, they show them picking up the camera, resetting the camera, to each his own. But to me, if you're gonna be serious if you're going to be a professional YouTube creator, and that's what I'm talking about, yeah, maybe a hobby, but you know, at least for me, I want to do a good job. So editing is absolutely critical. And what we use is called iMovie, because I run, both Tess and I run on Macs, but it is time consuming. Anywhere between 2 to 4 hours, sometimes longer, is what it'll take me to edit a video. If I'm pulling in clips from old videos, you know, I got to search. We've got over 300 videos now. So I'll say, hey, I remember I did this and this would be relevant to what I'm filming now. Let me pull that clip out. Well, it takes time to find. We have an external hard drive where we keep all our videos on, and it's almost full. We're gonna have to get another one. And by the way, thanks to AI data centers, that the cost of anything to do with memory has shot up unbelievably. Let's talk about AI. YouTube's rules on putting out a video is, so someone can take this video that I'm doing, put it out under their name, as long as they change some things. So what you'll see is a little box in the corner with that creator's face, and occasionally they might make a comment. YouTube says that's okay. Now, you may have to share income with the original creator. It just depends. But I find that really usurping the system. I really do. I think go create your own content. The other thing is all out AI, a totally AI created video. So we get, well, I call it spam, from different companies. Hey, we want to help you edit your videos. We want to do this. And one company contacted me and they wanted us to do, they would help us create shorts. Well, yeah, creating shorts is you know, it's tough to do. It really is, to take the 15-minute video and get it down into an under 2-minute short. But they would do that. So I was able to try it.
Just easing the bucket down, letting it ride the surface. Chains are biting pretty good on this packed snow. We'll push this load up to the bank and dump it. Coming to the pile now, lifting, and there it goes, backing out with the box blade.
Trial. It took one of my snow plowing videos, and it was hugely successful. But it wasn't. It was clear to me, anyhow, that it was AI. I could have continued to do that. I'm not doing that. The thumbnail for this video was had some assistance from AI, but the subject is mine, and what I really, really can't stand is clickbait. An example, a thumbnail saying, I crashed my tractor, and come to find out, he didn't crash his tractor. Maybe he bumped into something, and it's just trying to, and when I click on those videos, I get angry. I immediately click off, and this is ridiculous. And I refuse to do that. Well, wait a minute, what about your video? You said in there, quitting, question mark. Hey, you'd be right. Yeah, that was my thumbnail. So why isn't it clickbait? Well, in the beginning of the video, I told you that I've decided against quitting YouTube. And the reasons are as follows. One, I like to be successful. I want to win. And if I'm going to do something, as I said, I'm all in. I wanted to be a huge channel. Maybe we'll be someday, I don't know. But coming up here in a couple of weeks is our 3rd year anniversary for the channel. And one of the things with being a creator is you've got a YouTube app where you can check the progress of your channel and also videos. As of this moment, we have 33,550 subscribers. So I did a little bit of research. There are 114 million YouTube channels. 114 million. Everybody's got a YouTube channel. We have, as I mentioned, 33,500 subscribers. So I asked AI, of the 114 million YouTube channels, how many have greater than 33,000 subscribers? And it told me only 1.5%. So I thought, well, that's pretty good. But here is the main reason why I'm not quitting. It scares me to death to quit. Oh, maybe a year ago, I had mentioned to Tess, I was a bit frustrated with the channel. We weren't where I wanted us to be. And I had mentioned to Tess that I'm thinking about giving it up. And her response to me was, and then do what? It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm not a young guy. I've had some pretty serious health issues. So I am not of the constitution to go out and get a 9-to-5 job today, but I can work at my own pace. And this is what YouTube lets me do. If I did not have the channel, and I don't want to be overly dramatic here, but I'd be 30 pounds heavier, and my lifespan, I'm quite certain, would go down considerably. This gives me a purpose. I believe, I was gonna say a man, but a woman too, has gotta have a purpose for getting up in the morning, a purpose in the world. And without this channel, I'd have to question what that is. Yeah, again, not to be overly dramatic, but I look at this channel as saving my life. There are times I get up in the morning and I don't want to do anything. But I know, and we've been religious for almost 3 years now, about getting a video out every single Sunday morning. I know I've got that deadline back here. I've got to get out and do something. Here's what I already had planned. I got to film it. You know, and also, when you do a chore and you're a YouTube creator, it's harder. And it really is. Let's just look at snow plowing. Sometimes it's, 10 degrees, wind's blowing, and we got a lot of snow, and I'm out there plowing, and I've got 3 cameras, and I've got to be able to get out and move them, so consequently, it takes me longer to plow. Same thing a few videos ago, we got that 15 yards of soil in. We had a drone up in the air, and I had 3 other cameras running. So it makes it harder to do work when you've got to film it. You've got to make sure you've got the proper light, the audio, the camera angle, and so on and so forth. Let's talk about money. How much money can you make on YouTube? Well,
show me the money.
Show me the money!
So YouTube creators are paid an average of $2 to $10 for every 1,000 views. These are for long form videos. Shorts pay an average of 3 cents to 10 cents per 1,000 views. So shorts, I mean, you've got to be in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to really make any money. That's a bit daunting. You put out a video, you get 1,000 views, and you're going to probably make $10. So, that's hard to pay your bills that way. But there are other opportunities. Sponsorship, to where a vendor might come in and say, hey, we really like your channel. We want you to use our product, and we're willing to pay you to do that. The next level down would be commissions earned. We show a product, we put a link to our Amazon store, and our viewer goes there, uses the link we provide, we can make a small commission. So those are 3 ways that you can earn money on YouTube. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if money is your sole motivation, I think you're gonna have a hard time.
Sorry, folks, but money can't buy happiness.
Anyone who says money can't buy happiness doesn't know where to shop.
I also think it might corrupt your ethics, morals, and values if you're always thinking about what can I do to put a video out that's going to make a ton of money. I don't do that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, God bless you. But again, I film what I do. I put it out there. Some like it, some don't. Which leads me to one last thing. If you're going to have a YouTube channel, you better have thick skin.
Who picks your clothes? Stevie Wonder?
Okay.
Because, well, I've been called an idiot, a communist, a right-wing. You better have thick skin. I try not to inject any politics into my videos. You see that right there? That flag has brought me negative comments. You know what? I love it. I love it. Don't watch my channel. I mean, if that bothers you, all of a sudden, what now? I'm a Trumper. I'm a right-wing. I'm all these things that I am not, other than just a proud American. I love this country. I'm so appreciative. I was talking to Tess the other day, and I was saying, I don't think the average American realizes how blessed we were to be born in this country. Take the total population of the world and take the percentage that are born here in America. It's pretty small. I feel I'm blessed to have been born in this country and have all the opportunity that I've been given. So yeah, you better have thick skin. You can't let it bother you. Block them if you need to. I very rarely ever block anybody. I don't know that I ever have. Say what you want. I don't care. I'm going to continue to do what I want to do because my ethics, my morals are very, very important to me. And I want to be honest with my viewers. I've said before on the channel, if I recommend a product, you could be darn sure I believe in it. And if I was wrong, and I've done this on the channel, I've gone back and said, hey guys, you know that product that I recommended? Don't buy it, here's why. I think it's really critical. Lastly, and once again, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you have questions, here again is my email address, or you can put it in the comments if you like, but a little bit more privacy if we're emailing back and forth. I'm happy to help you. I don't want a thing for it, not a thing. Again, I want to see everybody succeed. I hope you enjoyed this little peek behind the scenes. If there's something that I've forgotten that you have a question on, put it in the comments. I'm happy to answer it. This is 100% transparency here. I've got nothing to hide, absolutely nothing. God bless you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Tractors in Life.